Next ruler of Mughal dynasty, he is Humayun. Meaning of Humayun in their language is lucky one. But here, practically speaking, the most unlucky person in Mughal dynasty, particularly till Aurangzeb, I should say, is Humayun. Babur was having this elder son, that is Humayun, most beloved son also. And Babur died at age of 48. Humayun got power in hand. Babur was carved out vast empire in India, but that empire was unconsolidated. Say from Punjab till Bihar, this all part was under hands of Babur. Yet they were not having southern part of India. Particularly, you are aware that in order to control India effectively and revenue wise also, one should have power in Bengal, that is today's Bangladesh and West Bengal, all territory, that is Bengal territory and Gujarat territory. If these two states or territories were in hand of central power, then their power becomes stabilized, because these two are main export centers. They were actually in those days main export centers in India, very rich provinces, and that's why in order to consolidate empire, whatever the wealth is required, that can be accumulated from this part. Now Bengal was not in hands of Mughals in those days. Sher Shah Suri is name of Afghan. He was having leadership in Bihar. He was ruler of Bihar. No doubt, he was appointed most probably by Babur only, but he rebelled. After getting vast wealth from Bihar, and he also annexed out Bengal, he became more powerful because he was having very good wealth in hand, and he rebelled against Humayun. Now there is rivalry between Pathans and Mughals. Mughals were outsiders. Mughals ruled out homestead of Pathan, that is Afghanistan. Mughal ruled out now Delhi. They get power from Afghan only. Lodhi were Afghans, and that's why there was rivalry between Afghan and Mughals. No doubt, both were Muslims, both were Sunni Muslims, but still there was rivalry. And then, to the surprise, Gujarat, Subedar of Gujarat, named as Bahadur Shah, he was ruler of Gujarat. He also matched, or he also went with Sher Shah. Now Humayun went from Delhi to Gujarat. He was able to defeat and conquer certain parts of Malwa and Gujarat. Humayun was engaged in war from Babur's rule only, but now independently he marched and he conquered Gujarat. Once he defeated Sher Shah Suri also. But in latter phase, particularly, he got power in 1530, but in 1539, he lost battle at Chausa, and in 1540, he lost battle at Kannauj. Both the battles he fought with Sher Shah Suri, where he was defeated. Particularly after Battle of Kannauj, he lost out newly founded empire by his father, that is Babur's empire. Babur's entire name we can take as Zahiruddin al-Muhammad Babur. He lost out that. And northern India was controlled by Sher Shah Suri. Humayun simply fled away from India. He was now wandering in Sindh, Baluchistan, like that territory, homelessly. They were obviously nomadic tribal people only, and they were having habit of that also. From Babur's rule, Babur also carried out same thing. The same thing was carried out by Humayun, and to the surprise, Delhi was now again in hands of Pathan or Afghan people, Sher Shah Suri. Here I should leave Humayun at desert, whereas I should focus on Sher Shah Suri. Sher Shah Suri is the wisest ruler of Delhi in those days. He carried out various changes. Say, whatever the ruler, say it was Turkey ruler, Afghan ruler, or whatever the ruler, Bengal territory was always proved rebellion against ruler. Sher Shah Suri also get help of Bengal only. In order to maintain Bengal under central control, he divided Bengal into 3 parts. So keep in mind, partition of Bengal was not carried out by Britishers first time. This was carried out in earlier days by Sher Shah Suri. He divided that Bengal territory into 3 different parts, and 3 subedars were appointed over there. Because of the, and usually these 3 subedars were rivals of each other, and that's why Bengal territory remained under control of central power. He thus managed to manage the issue of Bengal. Then whatever currency we are using today, that is we are calling as rupee in English, but in Hindi we are calling that as rupaya. This currency was coined out by Sher Shah Suri. That is silver coin he minted, that is called as rupaya. Now keep in mind, silver in Sanskrit it is called as raupya, corrupted word rupaya. So this way silver coin was introduced here by naming rupaya or rupee by Sher Shah Suri. Sher Shah Suri carried out lots of changes in administration system also. We will discuss it in later phase, because in next few lectures we are focusing on art and architecture, then administration, revenue system by all these foreign invaders over India. So in that lecture we can discuss about this detail of that revenue system, etc. He carried out military reforms, and ultimately he managed his empire. Say from 1540 to 1545 he was ruling over Delhi. After that he lost out. Islam Shah, his son, he also got power in hand. Now here what happened to Humayun? We are going to again Humayun. Humayun was wandering in deserts of this Baluchistan and Sindh, where he got married with daughter of Sufi saint. She was something 13 or 14 years old at that time. He married with daughter of that Sufi saint, and then in desert of Baluchistan only he got a son. He named him as Akbar, famous as Akbar. Name is Jalaluddin al-Muhammad Akbar. Then he tried to escape to Iran, and at that time with his own brother Kamran and Kambaksha, there was battle, and ultimately he lost out that also. 2 years old Akbar was taken as captive by his brother only. Then he went to he went to Iran, where ruler of Iran helped him with military forces. He accepted Shia, that Shia and Sunni both were sects in Islam. So he converted to Shia. Then he was helped. But some books are mentioning this, some books are not mentioning this. And then he entered in India again with help of Iran. He entered in India. Now he conquered Afghanistan and then India till 1555. That means he lost out in 1540. After nearly 15 years, he got power of Delhi. For 12 years, he was wandering without emperor. But now he entered in India, he gained the power again with help of Iran. But what is the most important thing? He got success is important. He got power of Delhi in 1555, but again he proved unlucky. At age of just 48, year is 1556, he died in accident. It is said that he was going for namaz, and just by listening out that call from mosque, he was stepping down, and at that time there was accident. He fall out and ultimately he died in that failure only. So this way Humayun is we can say re-founder of the empire. He got power and he lost out his life again, leaving behind the son, that is Akbar, just age 13 completed. So this way Humayun first tried to consolidate empire, not getting success, lost out that empire, wandered for 12 years, re-got the empire, re-established his power over Delhi and died. So here we can say their empire was just in vicinity of Delhi. He ruled there for nearly 1.5 years and he died. So this way empire, that means northern India, was under constant wars. Northern India was having tremendous instability during this particular period. So from Muhammad Ghori to Humayun, we can discuss how this is the important phase in India where India faced out wars, foreign attacks again and again, and total instability was there. This is anarchy condition, particularly in northern India. No doubt few rulers survived. Few rulers like Alauddin Khilji expanded his empire, but empire was not having peaceful rule. That was having again and again rebellion. Say Khilji empire was having continuous threat from Gujarat. The threat means the instability was there from Gujarat, then Daulatabad, that is Devgiri, Warangal, and all these territories were again and again rebelling against Khiljits. They were again and again rebelling against whatever the ruler, even Tughlaq. Muhammad Tughlaq also faced out rebellion from South India, and ultimately when Muhammad Tughlaq was there, at that time only South India parted out from his empire, particularly Bahmani empire was set out and Vijayanagar Sindhu empire was set out. So this way, this phase in Indian history is tremendous problematic, where the earlier development, speed of development, we lost out. Say, before these attacks also India faced out foreign attacks, but they were not so frequently, particularly after invention of Greek. Some attacks were faced by northern India, but frequency was not that high. But here the frequency of attack was very, very high, and again similar attack. Say Mongol attack, you can make note that from R.C. Mujumdar's book you can prepare out the names of Mongol invaders over India and their success, or you can even search on internet also and get the list. How many times, particularly after Chengiz Khan, how many times northern India was attacked by Mongol invaders. I am not saying Muslim invader, Mongol invader, maybe non-Muslim, maybe Muslim. For example, Targhi Khan is non-Muslim, whereas Taimurlang is Muslim. But what is the similarity? Both were Mongols. So like that, continuously they were having this threat. And Humayun, also Mongol, again Humayun attacked. So once he sent out of India, again appear in horizon and again got the power. So this way, India, particularly northern India, was faced terrible troubles in this reign of say from Bakhtiyar, Bakhtiyar Khilji, or say that Muhammad Ghori, to this period. Now here we are switching over to next emperor, that is Akbar, Jalaluddin al-Muhammad Akbar. In the series of Mughal emperors, we are now discussing about Akbar the Great. So when I am talking about Mughal emperors, Akbar is proved to be real founder of Mughal empire. Say Babur introduced Mughals in India or Mughal rule over northern parts of India, but he was not able to establish a vast empire in India. Their empire was just in northern part of India. That is also not entire northern India. Humayun lost out, then re-established. Akbar was really young when he got power in hand. Under regency of Behram Khan, his uncle, maternal uncle, he first fought war, but soon he proved more effective than Behram Khan. So we are aware now that he was son of Humayun, but from mother's side he was son of a woman or girl rather that was resident of Sindh. So she was not, I don't know whether she was Mongol or not, but she was daughter of Sufi saint. And now Akbar initially lost out territories of Delhi and Agra after his father's death because Pathans or Afghans were again become prominent. But this time I don't know how and what happened exactly, but their leader was Hindu. He was Hemu. So under leadership of Hemu, a general of Afghan named as Adil Shah, he conquered that territory and Akbar fought war. No doubt, I am saying Akbar fought war, but practically speaking, Behram Khan fought the war. The battle was there at Delhi, at Panipat to conquer Delhi. This battle is again called as Battle of Panipat. So this is called as Second Battle of Panipat. That is between Behram Khan, in bracket we can write down Akbar. Why in bracket? Because practically speaking, the leader was Behram Khan. Akbar was just 13-14 years old son. I don't know, he was just taking experience, we can say at the most, but real leader was Behram Khan. So Behram Khan versus Hemu, where Hemu was defeated and then executed. First Behram Khan asked Akbar to kill him, but Akbar was not ready. Then Behram Khan executed this Hemu. Now Akbar got power of Delhi and Agra because of this way, part. But then onwards, Akbar slowly managed to take power in his own hands. And Behram Khan was sent for Hajj pilgrimage. As Behram Khan moved from Delhi in desert of Baluchistan, he was assassinated by somebody, we don't know. But this way Behram Khan's influence was removed and now Akbar was having sole power, entire power in his sole hands. And now Akbar was trying to solve the problem of Indian region. Say, Delhi was again and again claimed by Pathans as well as Rajputs. And obviously, Delhi was in hands of Mughals. So, for Delhi, three parties were carrying out war. They were Afghans, Mughals and Rajputs. At that time, Akbar managed to get friendship with Rajputs. And for that purpose, he considered himself as a liberal ruler. He did not emphasize Islam to greater extent as his ancestors. No doubt, I am not saying he was not Islamic. Yes, he was Islamic. But he carried out certain moves that was for betterment of his own empire. Say for example, in 1563, he abolished pilgrimage tax. In India, when Alauddin Khilji was ruling, initially Alauddin Khilji was having dream that we can convert out entire India into Islam. But later on he realized it is not possible for him. Like Muslim invaders carried out in case of Iran, over the period of 200 years, entire Iran was Islamized. Similar action was not carried out in India. So Alauddin Khilji decided after a certain part of his life that it is not possible for us to convert entire Indian people into Muslim state. What we can use, that we can allow them to live. Instead of converting them to Islam, we can live over their property. So he charged out various taxes. During rule of Alauddin Khilji, Hindus were charged out more than 70% taxes, whereas Muslims were having some tax around 7%. So this way they created out a state that Hindus should be there, but they have to pay taxes. Visiting temple is allowed or not? Yes, allowed. You can visit out temple, that is pilgrimage. You have to pay tax. If tax is not paid, we are going to destroy your temple. So like that threat is created, and they charged out pilgrimage tax. Brahman people, they used to keep some part here like ponytail, that is called as shendi, shikha. Allowed? Yes, but you have to pay tax on that. It is allowed. So like that, these rulers charged out various taxes over Hindus. Most important thing or prominent thing, they were charging out jizya. You are aware jizya is tax that is levied over non-Muslims by Muslims. Now in 1564, Akbar abolished jizya tax also. So this way Akbar proved more tolerant towards all religions. Even Akbar abolished another practice. During wartime, the soldiers were taken as captive. Earlier rulers were forcefully converting out these captives to Islam. Akbar abolished that practice also. And that's why Akbar proved more tolerant toward Hindus, and he was become friend of Rajput people to that extent that try to recollect Alauddin Khilji. Rajputs were in continuous war with Alauddin Khilji. They did not help him. Instead of that, they opposed him with all his power. Say Battle of Ranthambore, Rana Hamir fought bravely with Jalaluddin Khilji, and Jalaluddin Khilji was defeated at Battle of Ranthambore. Later on, Alauddin Khilji managed to conquer that fort, but he was having tremendous resistance until last Rajput soldier died. They fought. So this terrible resistance was given by Rajputs to earlier Islamic invaders. But to the surprise, Rajput, when Akbar was there, they got friendship with Akbar. Say for example, ruler of Amber, that allowed his daughter to marry with Akbar, that is Jodhabhai. So this way Akbar was able to win hearts of Rajput, and Jodhabhai married with Akbar. This way matrimonial alliance make Akbar's kingdom strong. Now Afghans got challenge from Akbar this way, that Rajputs and Akbar or Mughals united together and Afghan problem is solved. Akbar carried out lots of efforts that these emperors or say Rajput rulers were taken into service of Mughal Empire. For that purpose, they were allotted title like Raja. Their autonomy was continued. They were having much more freedom in their kingdom. Only thing is that they should accept suzerainty of Akbar. In the court of Akbar, all these Rajas were there. They were allowed to sit on throne. Every Raja was having throne at Akbar's court, and in Sabha means court, they were sitting together. So this type of practices made by Akbar, that made him a real ruler or founder of empire. In 1572, Akbar managed to get victory over Gujarat. So from now northern India, their empire, almost all Rajasthan. Why I am using word almost all Rajasthan? Because few Rajputs were aware that Akbar is not Indian. He is outsider and he is trying to conquer India. We have to resist him. We have to oppose him. So Rana Uday Singh opposed him. Later on his son Maharana Pratap opposed him. The same thing continued by his son Rana Amar Singh. So this way a strong and terrible resistance was produced by Maharana Pratap particularly. But these are some of the exceptions. So out of that fewer exceptions, Akbar managed to conquer or control Rajasthan. That is the finest, most important achievement carried out by Akbar. Because from Muhammad Ghauri, keep in mind, Muhammad Ghauri was able to defeat only Prithviraj Chauhan, not other Rajputs. No doubt there was confederation, etc. All right. But Rajasthan continued to resist this rule. Rajasthan continued to resist Arab invaders also, as we have discussed in earlier lectures. We discussed that. But Akbar managed to convert this resistance into support. And that's why only Mughal empire was spread out in India. These Rajas were helped out Akbar. Say, who were fighting against Rana Pratap? Rajputs only. Akbar's army was there, but at front side only Rajputs were fighting with them. Now they conquered out Gujarat. So their kingdom in 1572, their kingdom was established in Gujarat. Then 1574 and to 76, in that 2 years, Akbar conquered out Bengal also. Now this is important, as we discussed in earlier lectures. These two territories are really important because we have to collect wealth in order to manage a strong empire. And this way Akbar got power in their hands. Akbar got lots of revenue because of these trading states were there in his hand. And then in 1581 he marched towards Afghanistan. Say, when Babur entered in India, particularly after Humayun, they lost out power in Afghanistan. Again Akbar managed to get war, and ultimately by 1595, so 81 he marched towards Afghanistan. By 1595 he managed the power in Kandahar. Kandahar is in Afghanistan. Then Central India, Orissa, Sindh and Kashmir. So from Kashmir to Orissa, Central India, Gujarat, Rajasthan, parts of Punjab till Afghanistan. So really he carved out vast empire over India. And under the same impression he decided to conquer South India, as Alauddin Khilji carried out, as Mubarak Khan Khilji carried out. He was interested in conquesting out South India. And he arrived on horizon of Deccan. That is at Burhanpur in Madhya Pradesh he arrived. There is a fort named as Ashirgarh. He conquered that fort. Fantastic fort is there. Very strong fort was constructed there. He conquered that fort and he said, now I have opened out door of South India. Yes, he was able to open only that door. So his power was not that sufficient to conquer Nizam Shah of Deccan. He entered in continuous war with Nizam Shah. Particularly for 8 consecutive years he was there in Deccan. In these 8 years, he got various victories in Deccan, but he was not able to conquer Deccan. We are aware that South India, that was divided here into 5 different kingdoms. I am revising again because in earlier lecture we discussed, particularly you have to look at that lecture of Bahmani Sultans. Bahmanis split out into 5 kingdoms. I am revising. Adil Shah was ruler of Vijapur, that is in Karnataka. He was originally Turki. Then Golconda is towards Andhra Pradesh. Ruler Nizam Qutub Shah, he was Persian or Irani. Then there is territory here that is called as Bidar. Bidar was, actually you are aware that Bidar was capital of this Bahmani Empire. So Bidar was conquered by this Barid Shah. He was Georgian origin. So in South India, these 3 kingdoms, Vijapur, Bidar, Qutub Shah or Golconda, these 3 kingdoms were outsiders, whereas Vidarbha is called as Bearer in those days in English. So it is Bearer that was ruled by Imad Shah. He was Indian. He was originally Hindu, Brahman, but later on converted to Islam. Whereas Nizam Shah was also same thing, that he was also originally Hindu, Brahman, but converted to Islam. So 5 kingdoms were there. Out of that, Nizam Shah of Ahmednagar fought bravely with this Akbar. But really speaking, Nizam Shah was not fighting. That was Maratha power that was fighting with Akbar. Say whatsoever, Nizam Shah was there, Adil Shah was there, or even that Qutub Shah or Barid Shah, Imad Shah, all these people, they were installed Maratha people in their army. And this Maratha power was able to resist out Mughals. So this resistance was created by Nizam Shah. But Nizam Shah was not proved victorious. He tried to manage his own empire. He lost out Ahmednagar in hands of Akbar. But they shifted out their capital now. From Ahmednagar they shifted out capital to Devgiri or Daulatabad and continued to rule. War with Nizam Shah continued by Mughals. Ultimately, after 8 years, Akbar was able to reach till Godavari river, and only that much he returned back to Delhi. Akbar is real founder of empire, where he was having power from Kandhar to Orissa, Bengal and parts of Maharashtra. I am not saying entire Maharashtra, but parts of Maharashtra were there in their hand. This vast empire was founded by Akbar. Now, Akbar was tolerant to all religions. Even he established a new religion that is called as Deen-e-Ilahi. Actual name is Tawfiq-e-Ilahi. But after his death, this was called as Deen-e-Ilahi. He established a city in North India that is called as Fatehpur Sikri. That was considered as now capital of Mughal Empire. But later on, they moved capital again from Fatehpur Sikri. But Akbar was having this tolerance with all religions. He abolished various injustice, justifiable taxes, and therefore got more popularity in India. He stabilized the rule of India. Till rule of Akbar, there was instability in northern India, particularly from Bakhtiyar Khilji or Muhammad Ghauri till Humayun's rule. There was terribly loss of stability was there. But Akbar established this stability. Akbar encouraged out art, and various Hindu customs were again installed in his court. Say for example, music. Yes, that was allowed in court of Akbar. Even various drawings, paintings, all these things were allowed in court of Akbar. Akbar, that's why proved to be a really great ruler. We are going to discuss their administration and all art and architecture in next lecture, where we are going to discuss that all. So this way Akbar formed vast empire. Akbar was having, some books are saying that he was having some 5,000 wives, but he was not having son, and ultimately he went to some Sufi saint, and then he got name. So the name of that saint was some Salim Chishti. So he named his son after him as Salim. So he is the son of Akbar. But as Akbar was engaged in war, Akbar was long lived and longly reigned. So his rule was there from 1556 to 1605. That means you are aware that in 1600 British East India Company was established. So during Akbar's rule only British East India Company was established, particularly 1600. Now here Akbar was engaged in war, and therefore he was not able to pay much attention towards his son Salim. And Salim got habit of drinking liquor. He was alcoholic, whereas his father was workaholic. Akbar was sleeping just 4 hours in a day because he was having this vast empire to manage. But his son was not like that. To the surprise, he was son of Jodhabai. So here we can get another thing, that why I should call Babur as outsider. Babur was outsider only. He was Mongol. Humayun, Mongol. Akbar, partly Indian. Why? Because his mother was there from Sindh territory. Salim, again think that his mother was there from Rajasthan, Amber, that is Jodhabai. So this way we carried out Indianization of Mughal Empire, and that's why from Akbar onwards we are calling these rulers as Indian rulers only. No doubt they were outsiders. They were considering themselves as outsiders, but genetically they were not perfect outsiders. Alright. So here I am ending out the part of Akbar's rule. So we have to discuss in next lecture about these all administrative systems, and then we are focusing again on Mughal Empire, because we have to discuss Salim. He was entitled as Jahangir. Then his son Shah Jahan, original name is Khurram, he was entitled as Shah Jahan. And then last ruler, that Aurangzeb, entitled as Alamgir. So 3 rulers we have to discuss, but till that I have to get a halt. I have to first discuss administration in all these rules, and then we'll switch over to next.